Okay, WWE Elimination Chamber 2023 is over. Um, Overall, I guess if I have to tip my hand a little bit too early, I'd say painfully predictable. Um, Not necessarily bad, just again, not too much out of the way of shocks, I guess, except for a couple things which we'll get to briefly when we get to them. Anyway, no kickoff show matches again, so we started with the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Asuka taking on Nikki Cross, Natalia, Raquel Rodriguez, Carmella, and Liv Morgan. Natalia and Liv opened things up, and a couple of nice spots in there. Basically, when the next competitor, Raquel Rodriguez, came out, Natalia was using the cage as kind of an assist for a camel clutch-like maneuver on Liv. Kind of a unique point there. Early on, after that, Natalia hit a sunset flip on Rodriguez, sending her into the cage. Nikki Cross was out next. Her big spot was that she crawled up on top of in fact, she crawled up on top of Carmella's pod and did a big flying crossbody off of them. And then Carmella entered the ring and got a super kick on Cross for the 3 count to eliminate her. And then Asuka came out as the last competitor. She and Carmella pinned Liv Morgan again after Morgan hit I think it was a sunset bomb on Asuka. Then Carmella eliminated Natalia first, then the elimination on Morgan, which left Rodriguez, Asuka, and Carmella in the ring. Carmella and Asuka teamed up to take down Rodriguez with a series of big super kicks and roundhouse kicks. And then it was down to Carmella and Asuka. Asuka locked on the rings of Saturn and eliminated Carmella in quick fashion. Like I said, not necessarily a terrible match. Definitely some good spots in there. Admittedly, part of the problem is with the, quote, high-risk spots in the chamber is it takes so long for people to get onto the pod, onto the cage wall, onto the roof, that it's like everyone knows what's happened, so it's really not as shocking as one would think. And there's kind of a bit of that with Nikki Cross's crossbody. I mean, the only difference was it was off of Carmella's pod and not her own. But other than that, yeah, it wasn't too much in the way of big-time shenanigans. And, yeah, if you didn't think it was going to be Asuka versus Bianca Belair at Mania, I'm guessing you were assuming Asuka was going to get, injured. Because it didn't see how anyone, she's going through the chain. She's reverting back to her persona in Japan, which was Kana, though she's still going by Asuka. And, yeah, it's like... that definitely seems to have the moment. She definitely seems to have the momentum behind her. After that, our next match was the match between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Not much to say here. Right off the bat, Lesnar drove Lashley in the corner, hit a big belly-to-belly suplex. Lashley came back, speared Lesnar out of the ring. Lesnar fought out of a hurt lock and hit an F5. He hit one more F5, but Lashley kicked out again. Lashley came back, hit a big spear. He hit another big spear, and then he managed to lock on the hurt lock. Lesnar, seemed to be fading, and just as a last-ditch effort, low-blowed Lashley to get DQ'd. And then, realizing that he had lost again, Lesnar snapped. He attacked the official. He attacked Lashley, he F5'd Lashley into the announce table, and then he F5'd the official into the records of the announce table, and then left. So, I'm not sure how I feel about this. In a way, it protects Lesnar a little bit, but, it's hard to tell who's supposed to be the heel in this match. Lashley's showing more heelish tendencies, going into this thing, but clearly was more of a heel coming out of it. I mean, he cheats, he gets the DQ, he attacks Lashley, which, is not respectful of a good baby face. And then it's like, I'm trying to think of the way I'm trying to think of a way to phrase this. I'm kind of locked on it, sorry. He, he attacks Lashley, and it's like now Lashley's a bit more sympathetic, and added to that, you know, Lashley now has a leg up on Lesnar, and they're also trying to maybe build to a feud with Bray Wyatt at some point, so I don't know what exactly is going on. Yeah, it just seems a lot like, I guess if you want to build something at Mania, do that, but, you know, then why set the thing up with Bray Wyatt on SmackDown this past Friday? And after that, we had our first WrestleMania movie parody, which was Seth Rollins doing the Joker thing, where he's doing the dance on the steps, only to be confronted by Becky Lynch, who's doing a gravelly Batman voice, who talks about the man cave, and Rollins goes, "I didn't know you had a man cave." He said, "Well, you're not there because you're not the man." Alright, our next match is the mixed tag match between Edge and Beth Phoenix taking on Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley of the Judgment Day. I have to be careful because when I wrote this down, I inadvertently wrote I wrote Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Beth Phoenix. Anyway, Dominic also accompanied the Judgment Day down to the ring. Right off the bat, Edge whipped Beth into the corner, and she, drove her shoulder into Balor a little bit, and corner splash on him. Then Dominic began to interfere. He whispered something into Ripley's ears. They began trying to lure Phoenix outside the ring. She managed to counter a lot of their efforts. Eventually, she came back to try to and hit a big DDT, trying to get the tag to Edge, but Balor tripped him up on the apron. Again, eventually, though, Edge does get the hot tag. He gets Balor in the Educator, the Cloverleaf. And then Dominic tried to get the brass knucks into the ring, but Beth caught them. However, Ripley headbutted Beth and got the brass knucks, hit Edge, but that only got a 2 count. Beth Phoenix broke the pin up. Beth began brawling with Dominic and Rhea outside the ring. She threw Dominic up into the ring, and that broke up a coup de grace attempt by Finn Balor. And that enabled Edge to that enabled Beth to hit a glam slam on the outside of the ring, and then Edge to hit a torpe onto Dominic. Balor then hit a sling blade, but then Edge came back and managed to hit a spear. And then Edge and Beth Phoenix hit the Shatter Machine on Finn Balor for the 3 count of the victory. Kind of a surprise finish in this one. I know the prevailing rumor is they're building towards Balor and Edge at Hell in a Cell, or in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania, is what I'm trying to say. So, maybe Balor can get his win back there. But, again, given that Rhea Ripley's going after Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Championship, and you would think they would try to make her look a little stronger and have her win the match. I mean, I guess you could say she didn't take the pin, so that's more in her favor. Also, no Rey Mysterio and Dominic, even though, again, that's kind of what you're building to at Mania. Everyone knows that's what you're building to, so why not have Rey hit the ring finally and confront his son? And finally admit that he has to fight him. Again, I think that would have gotten a bit more of a pop, but still, I mean, overall, it was a very fun and enjoyable match, and well done, and everyone held their own in the ring real well. Okay, our next match is the Men's Elimination Chamber match for the United States Championship. Austin Theory taking on Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, Bronson Reed, Montez Ford, and Johnny Gargano. Rollins and Gargano opened things up. Gargano hit... hit a spear through the ropes onto Rollins right out to the hard platform part, which is going to come in a big way later. Theory was the next one out. Theory tries to play with Gargano a little bit, but both Rollins and Gargano eventually wind up cornering him in the pod and then attacking him in there. Until Bronson Reed comes out and he starts mowing through everyone. Oh, no, Priest was out next. I'm sorry. Priest came out. He hit hit Rollins with a kill switch and then attacked Theory. Bronson Reed came out after that. He just completely, the whole thing was Theory would think someone was on his side only to then get attacked almost immediately. Was kind of the early on motif of this match. Reed just kind of mowed through everyone. Montez Ford came out and managed to take down Reed with an enziguri. He tried to go for a people's elbow, but Reed clotheslined him. Ford hit a moonsault type maneuver off the top of the chamber. Again, interesting idea, but it just, again, the fact that it takes like 20 seconds just to get into the position to do all that stuff, it always seems to fall a little bit flat. That being said, there was another point where there's not been any eliminations at this point. They're all in the ring, I believe. And Gargano and Rollins at one point get on top. It looked like they're trying to take a bit of a break, and they sit there, crack a couple jokes, and then Rollins attacks Gargano, tries to powerbomb him off of the pod, but Gargano changes that into a Hurricane Rana onto everyone else, which just got enough of a topple on there, but he Hurricane Rana Rollins off of the top of the pod onto everyone else, but that just enabled Damian Priest to hit the Razor's Edge on the outside of the ring to Gargano and cover him for the 3 count to make him the first one eliminated. Then from there, Ford eliminated Priest. Rollins had him up in the powerbomb position, and Ford hit a blockbuster off the top of the... not quite the top of the pod, I think. I think it was just off the top of the ring post for the 3 count of the victory to eliminate Priest. Let's see. I'm trying to think. What happened to Bronson Reed? Was Reed the first one eliminated, or was Gargano the first one eliminated? I think everyone ganged up on Reed at one point and eliminated him. That's what happened. I think it was after the Ford moonsault. Everyone ganged up on Reed after that. Sorry. Anyway, the big... and this kind of leads into the big finish as we're down to Montez Ford, Seth Rollins, and Austin Theory. Rollins... Ford tries to do something, or I think tries to hit another dive, but Theory trips him, and he gets tangled up in the ropes. Rollins hits the stomp that causes Ford's head to bounce off of the little platform area outside the chamber. And Theory covers Ford for the 3 count. But Ford is kind of unconscious. Rollins tries a quick stomp on Theory, but Theory avoids it, goes to the 8 down. Both men kind of fall at that point. The refs open up the chamber door, which enables Logan Paul to come in, hit the buckshot lariat on Seth Rollins, and then follow that up with a curb stomp of his own to Rollins, which enables Theory to hit the 8 down and retain the championship. Like I said, this one was probably the match of the night. Definitely some better high spots than the women's match had. Again, a little predictable in the sense that obviously they were going to build towards Paul and Rollins at Mania. I don't know what they're doing with Theory, but maybe Theory and Ford could get into it, or dare I say triple match with Rollins, but I don't know if, Theory needs to be in back-to-back celebrity matches at Mania. And even then, it's if it does become a triple threat, then it's more likely, I think, that Theory retains the championship in that scenario, but I don't know. Again, if they want to push Theory, this would help a little bit, I think. Because an overall very entertaining match, again, kind of falls on the predictable side, as that's, the running thread through this show. Good matches, but in the end, you kind of knew what was going to happen, and so it makes it just feel a little bit fillery, for lack of a better term. And that leads us into our main event for the evening, the Undisputed Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. Unfortunately, my notes for this are not great. I got robocalled very early on in the Elimination Chamber match, the men's chamber match, and that just threw me off because I had to try to look up, and I can't automatically block it anymore for some stupid reason. Anyway, so yeah, I added to that. I cut myself, and I haven't been able to write well, so. Anyway, there wasn't too much that happened early on because, the crowd was so rowdy. They had basically played to them for almost a good solid 3 minutes before finally Reigns hit a shoulder tackle. Zayn's hit a big suicide plancha to the outside. Reigns countered an accidental punch, He hit his drive-by kick. At this point, he kind of got the upper hand in the match. He taunted Sami Zayn's wife, who was in the crowd, telling her, you know, hey, I wanted you to be part of this. I wanted you to be part of the family. He's the one who turned his back. Don't blame me for what's happening right now. And then Zayn comes back. He hit, he had a big series of lariats. He hit, he went for the Blue Thunder Bomb. I think Reigns was holding the rope. Reigns eventually hit the big exploder, or Zayn hit the exploder into the corner. He went for the haluva kick, but Reigns countered that with a Superman punch. Zayn managed to avoid a spear and into the barricade. Zayn hit a Superman punch of his own. Finally hits the haluva kick, but he can't quite get the pin. And at this point, Zayn tried to hit a Blue Thunder Bomb on Reigns, but Reigns backed up into the official and took him out. Jimmy Uso hit the ring, attacked Zayn with a chair, got Reigns on top of him, and then Hank's phone. Couldn't have gone off 10 minutes earlier. Anyway, the new ref hit the ring. I only got a 2 count on it. They start fighting again. Zayn again rallies. I think this time manages to hit the haluva kick. But then Reigns comes back, goes for a Superman punch, inadvertently hits the official. Again, a big kind of schmoz starts to break out. Jey Uso hits the ring this time. Reigns gives Uso Jey a chair, tells him to hit Sami. Jey refuses. As he and Roman are arguing, Sami goes for a spear, but inadvertently hits Jey, knocking him out of the ring. And that was just enough of a distraction for for Reigns to hit the spear and cover Zayn for the 3 count. I guess I should probably get into what happens after that. Jimmy, not Jey, Jay's vanished into thin air at this point, beats down Sami Zayn, yeah. Reigns is also beating Sami down. Kevin Owens' music hits. He attacks Jimmy, he attacks Reigns, he gets a pop-up powerbomb on Jimmy through the announce table. He hits Reigns with the stunner. He then stands aside for Sami to hit the haluva kick on Reigns. And that's pretty much how that ends. Okay? Overall, again, entertaining match. Predictable. Again, they weren't going to do... Sami wasn't going to win the title in his hometown. Don't think they're going to do the triple threat. Although, again, I thought they were building towards the Usos versus Owens and Zayn for the championships at Mania, but maybe not now. Or at least maybe what will happen now, instead of Jimmy and Jey, it'll be Jimmy and Solo, and then Jey turns on Sami then. I mean, obviously it's going to build this Jey turning on Sami at some point. But yeah, so I'm not entirely sure where exactly that's going. Again, I've heard that some things have been in flux. Like, they were pretty set in stone that it was just going to be Cody and Roman at Mania, but maybe they've changed their mind given the way there's been some reaction that there actually is momentum behind Sami Zayn. But at the same time, too, if I don't know what you do, if you do 2 title defenses or a triple threat match or what. If Zayn were to win, what do you do after that? Do you get another, Kofi Mania? Like, that was great when it happened, but then afterwards, they didn't really do much. You had a pointless feud with Dolph Ziggler, an equally pointless feud with Kevin Owens, and then you had the Randy Orton thing, which never really panned out to anything. So, you're going to wind up with something like that again, if you were to do that. Or, do you just, again, put Zayn in a tag match with Owens? Anyway, yeah, I think you see the point where I'm getting at there. So overall, I would say, again, the show was not bad, it was not terrible, it's just painfully predictable and kind of fillery. So, again, I'm going to have to give Elimination Chamber 2023 a C. Again, it's not terrible. I had fun watching it, but at the same time, in the long run, it was kind of inconsequential. You know, again, you know what was going to happen. You know what they're setting up for Mania right now. So, again, not terribly surprising. Again, could have maybe used one more match, I think. If you're going to have the Lashley-Lesnar match be so short, because that match was nothing, and then, you know, we padded that around with 5-minute vignettes about Ronda Rousey and The Miz, I think. I can't remember what the other one was. You know, maybe you could just put one more match in there and not show a vignette. I think it wouldn't have been too terrible, but yeah. So yeah, again, C is fine for this. Okay, so the next video is going to be the recap and review for the final season of Animaniacs. I haven't been able to start it. I was going to today, but life got in the way today. Just I didn't get around to it, unfortunately. After that, it's going to be the random trade review on Rising Stars Volume 1. And then the next wrestling one is going to be Impact No Surrender, which is next Friday. So yeah, it'll probably be after the Animaniacs recap and review. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm not entirely sure. I'd like to do AEW Revolution, but I can't say that's set in stone right now. It's going to see how finances shake out at this point. See you all next time.
Hey guys, remember you can help me maintain and possibly even expand my professional wrestling covers by supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/SleepyTimeForCat Productions. Also, remember to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell.